Welcome everyone to Motor City Fantasy Football. And today we have 5 rookies for you to target in your 1QB redraft leagues that'll help you get a leg up on your competition and dominate in 2024. Let's get to it. The first rookie that we're going to be talking about today is McConkey from the Los Angeles Chargers. And McConkey is coming off the board at wide receiver 42 and pick 91. Now, the Chargers no longer have Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, so they've freed up over 250 targets on this offense, and somebody has to catch the ball. I mean, we still have Josh Palmer, who's coming back, who had a couple decent games last year, and they also have Quentin Johnson, the rookie from last year, who just had an abomination of a season. He was absolutely terrible, and I can't see him doing much better this year than he did last year. So somebody's going to have to catch the football here in Los Angeles, and it's going to be McConkey. He's going to eat up a good chunk of those targets that were lost by from Mike Williams and Keenan Allen leaving. And the offense does project to be a lot more run heavy this year, but let's be fair. They don't have a good running back room. So they got Edwards, they got Dobbins, both coming over from Baltimore. The Chargers don't have as good of a run game as Baltimore did, and those guys couldn't hack it in Baltimore, which is why they're in LA now. So if the Chargers think that they're going to dominate running the football, it's just not going to happen. So they're going to have to throw the football to be successful, and McConkey is going to have to catch the football. So McConkey, he's the number 1 rookie that you should be targeting in your redraft leagues. The second one that we're going to look at today is another wide receiver, and that is Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's coming off just a couple picks later at pick 93 and wide receiver 44. He's projected to be the number 2 wide receiver this year in Jacksonville. He's filling in the role that Calvin Ridley left when he went to Tennessee. And Calvin Ridley last year had 136 targets and finished at wide receiver 18. Now, do I think that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to just duplicate those numbers in Jacksonville? No, I think Christian Kirk is probably going to be, at least this year, the number 1 target in Jacksonville. But I do think that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to fill in a good chunk of the role that Calvin Ridley left when he went to Tennessee. Is he going to get the 136 targets? Probably not. He's probably going to get closer to 100 to 110 targets. And is he going to finish at wide receiver 18? No, he's not going to finish at wide receiver 18, but we don't need him to finish at wide receiver 18. If Brian Thomas Jr. can finish in the top 35, that's going to be a success at the rate that he's going as wide receiver 44 and pick 93. The number 3 rookie that you should be targeting in your redraft leagues is a running back. And this running back is Jonathan Brooks, and he's coming off the board as running back 30 at pick 96. Now, he's going to have to compete for some competition between Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders, but they gave him great draft capital in the 2nd round, which means that the Carolina Panthers are looking to use Jonathan Brooks as their number 1 running back. He is coming off an injury, which means he is going to need a little bit of time to ease into his role this year. So you may get a little bit of a slower start from him, but I do believe that as the season goes on, his workload will increase and he will give you good running back production. And getting him that late in your draft is going to be great because I do think that he will finish in the top 20, maybe even top 15 of running backs. You could say that he is going to be a Bijan Robinson light. And Bijan, even used poorly last year, still gave you running back 9 numbers. So I think it's very possible that you could get top 15 numbers out of Jonathan Brooks this year. Again, he's probably going to give you a little bit of a slow start, but you're getting him at pick 96. So he's not going to be the number 1 running back on your board. But if you're taking a wide receiver heavy draft at the beginning, he's going to be a great pick later in the draft to pick up to give you a solid running back core on your team. The number 4, number 5 wide receivers, rookies are wide receivers, and they both come from the same offense, and that is New England. And the reason that I have them on here is because somebody has to catch the ball in New England. They don't have any wide receivers. There's no one to throw the ball to. That's why they drafted 2 wide receivers. So we have Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. Jalen Polk is coming off as wide receiver 68 and pick 157. And Javon Baker is coming off at wide receiver 82 and pick 226. So these are two wide receivers that you can take a flyer on at the end of your draft that can give you great upside. Now, these wide receivers are projected to be the number 1 and number 2 wide receivers in New England, which means they're going to get a good amount of target shares. And you're not expecting these wide receivers to be your starters every week. These are flyers you're taking at the very end of your drafts to give your wide receivers some depth. You're looking for them to come in and give you solid weeks during bye weeks, or if somebody gets injured on your team, you may be able to use them in a trade later on if they do pop off to help round out your team even better to win your league. We're looking to add good quality depth to your team. And I think both of these wide receivers, they could add good quality depth to your team because they're going to be a number 1 and number 2 wide receiver. One of them is definitely going to be the number 1, which means you're going to get a number 1 wide receiver on a team with one of the last picks, if not the last pick you take in your draft. And if you can get that kind of value, you're going to have great depth on your team and put you in a good position to win your league. Now, make sure you go and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos so you can dominate your league in 2024. And if you're wondering, which QB should I be drafting in my league? Go check out this video right here and we'll talk about it. Till next time, everyone, see ya.